Hey guys, I'm Rex Kramer, and today I'm going to be playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation 4. I used to play this game back in, 1997 apparently, when this game was released, and I played it on the PS1 back when I was, 13, something around there. So do the math and figure out how old I am. But this game is one of my favorite games of all time. From just the music, from the aesthetics, the loot drops, just everything about this game. Obviously, you can see how many freaking save files I have, my god. So let's start a new one. I never cared about the name in the beginning. I mean, there's some codes that you can put into this later after you beat the game that, makes you start off with different stuff, different gear, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to play from the beginning. So I played this game on the PS1, and it's slightly different from this version. I mean, it's not significant. It's not, gameplay changes or anything like that, or even more content. What it is they changed up. If they did change something up, I didn't notice it. The only thing that I did notice, the dialogue in this game, it's different. It's different from what I remember, and it's different voice actors for certain characters, and it kind of threw me off when I first played this because I'm so used to the PlayStation 1 version, which I still have, and I still play, and just the little subtle changes into the dialogue drives me crazy because I'm so used to the one that I grew up with that when I see how they changed this one, I'm like, wait a minute, why did you change that? I really don't see the reason for the changes, and we'll get into it a little bit more once I get closer to it. So the game starts with Richter, and this was the game that I was expecting when I first got this game. I thought it was going to be the traditional style Castlevania game, where it's just, left to right, up and down, and you go progress level by level. Whereas in this one, it's not. This kind of started the whole Metroidvania style games, where it's the aesthetics of a Castlevania game, but it's the exploration and item finding of a Metroid game, which completely blew me away when I was a kid, because I thought it was amazing that they did that with this. And all that crap I just got up there is useless. I can't do anything with it as Richter. So this starts off with one of my gripes. Very few gripes, just with the dialogue. This whole scene I'm about to go to with talking to Dracula, I had committed this to memory when I was a kid because I played it so much, and this one is completely different and it drives me crazy.
Dracula, die now and leave this world. You'll never
Not
belong
what you
here.
said, Richter. But granted, this is super campy. The PlayStation version was really poorly acted in campy dialogue, but I freaking loved it.
You steal men's souls.
Like this
Their
little dialogue
freedom.
right here. You steal men's souls and make them their slave.
Good hunter.
Dracula said in the original,
All I'm here for
perhaps
is
one
you.
could be said of all
To hell with your
religions, and that shit was dope.
You're
I was like,
nothing but a
oh,
blight on
burn!
mankind.
Mankind.
Miserable little pile of
Necessity, hatred,
secrets.
and lies.
That's what he said in the original.
Fight for them.
It's just, I don't know, it just bugs me that they changed it for no real reason. It's still super campy, so why would you do it? Well, I don't know. So let's just beat Dracula real quick and get to the real game. Just Hydra storm the crap out of him until he's dead. I mean, this game makes it so you can't lose this. Like, even if you took enough damage to die, technically, you would be saved anyway. There's no way to lose this battle. I mean, there are benefits to not dying. I think you start off the game with, I think, slightly higher health, or I know you get like a neutron bomb or some crap, and if you die, you get something too. I can't remember. It's been a while. I always play this game the same way anyway, so I always beat Dracula without dying. So some more little title scroll here of background of what's happening. And they slightly changed this up in a way. So when I was a kid playing video games, I played, started off with the regular Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Those were the systems I grew up with. And back then there were very few games that had, if any, that I can think of, that had spoken dialogue. So when you would have the text bubbles of what characters are saying and everything like that, I would, in my own mind, I would create a personality for characters that I thought would fit the character. And in this, I had a set in my mind of what Alucard would sound like and what his personality would be like. And when he speaks in the original, that's how I saw him. Like, if you haven't seen the Netflix Castlevania series, you should, because it's super good, and it personifies the characters in my mind how I thought of them when I was growing up, like almost to the T. So Alucard in the original PS1 version, he had a like deep baritone, stoic type of voice, and for some reason in this one they gave him a younger voice, and it's not terrible, but it just drives me nuts that they would do that to the character, because I had such a memory of what he sounded like. But little things, doesn't change the game in any way. This game is still super fun. Alright, let's get started here. I like this little opening thing because Alucard's got all his dope gear. He's got his Alucard sword, his Alucard shield, he's got his Twilight cloak. He can do cool stuff like that, using his vampire powers. And you feel super overpowered because you're the son of Dracula, you should be overpowered. These guys are nothing but peons. Just one shot, get rid of them. Ooh, money. Hi, dog. Let's do the ward. A little satisfying level up thing. You forget about it, and then when it happens, you're like, ah, sweet. The little touches of this game, like the little splatters of blood, the little shadow of the, I guess, after image of Alucard there is pretty cool. And now we're getting the meat of what makes this game great. It's crap like this. Little secret little tunnels, secret little things you can break, secret little paths. There's so much to this game. And when you had very limited games back in the day, because even back then games were expensive, you wanted the most out of a game. The most you can get out of a game. And this one offered so much. The other thing I love about this game is the enemy types. Right now I'm just mowing down the same, dogs and zombies and mermen, but most games have the same enemy types for the most part. And in this one, they're not just palette swaps. Each area has unique enemies that drop cool stuff, and we'll get into that later. So here we go with introducing Alucard to death and the voice that drives me crazy.
What is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Like I said, it's not bad, but his voice used to be cooler, in my opinion.
If you will not behave, be gone.
I will do neither. Step aside, old man.
Such arrogance.
And now it turns into the Metroid type style where you have all your cool crap in the beginning and now you lose it. All my cool shit is gone. Thanks, Steph. Now I just got my mitts. Just punch the shit out of stuff. I always thought this was cool as a kid, this background. Yeah, it looks like garbage by today's standards, but when you were a kid, and this is kind of the shit you were used to, when you see dudes getting impaled, that's pretty dark for when I was a kid. That was dope. The movement in this, I love it. Like the jumping mechanics and everything is so smooth, and I love it. Whereas traditional Castlevania was all super clunky. Like if you didn't do your jump right, you were screwed. This one is so much more fluid. Alright, first real enemy here. And Skelly Man takes more than one hit finally. And there's some loot there. And we'll get into that, about all the different loot that you can get from monsters later. But for now, let's just keep going. I'm gonna hit the first save point here. Alright. Getting my sleepy coffin, save the game. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for this first video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep going playing Symphony of the Night and just my experience with the game and how much it means to me. Alright guys, I appreciate you joining me. I'll see you next time.